All right, everybody, it is Monday, April 6th. First announcement. No, before I get to the announcement, we have to do this. This is what, day number 10 of me wearing this mask. I've been doing this now as a symbol of this ordeal we are going through, the COVID-19 pandemic. I am here in New York City, which is the epicenter of the virus in the United States. And actually a very disturbing article today in the New York Post saying that New York City was now going to be burying the bodies of people who have passed away. They're going to be burying those bodies in our city parks. Our city parks. They're saying it's a temporary situation because, the number of deaths, the rapidity in which that has occurred. You can't have all these. I mean, there's not enough time for all these funerals. They need to put it. There's no space to put them in the morgues. So crazy, man, crazy. All right, let me take this off. I'm doing this, remember, for posterity. We're going to look back at this. I hope all of you are very safe and well. Really, that is my wish. I went to the food store a little short while ago, and there was a line. I mean, this was the first time I saw this. I don't know how it is by you, but there was a line outside. Up until now, I go every 3-4 days just to stock up on things, and it's been fine. I just go in. They have the spacers, the 6 feet apart, the spacers, so if you're waiting online to check out to pay, everybody observes that 6 foot distance. Although a guy came to me I was online paying, and some guy came right up. I'm like, whoa, buddy. He's like, whoa, what's the matter? I said, 6 feet, 6 foot distance, please, respect that. I'm like, where you been the last month? Come on. Right on top of me. But anyway, I saw the lines outside the food store, and that got me a little bit concerned. When you see lines outside of a food store, you should understandably be concerned. Because if the food supply ever runs out, things will get really, really dicey. And especially, living in a big city like this, with all these people, I mean, that is not something you want to see. But actually, it was just a continuation of this social distancing. Once they let us in, they would let us in by a certain amount at a time. It was fine. We had all the food was in there, and there were less people, and actually it was pretty comfortable going about getting what I had to get. But again, I saw lines outside the food store, and it made me a little bit nervous. Market was up big. Let's talk about this. First of all, I want to say that, and some of you I think have posted up some comments on here, I was wrong to get out of my gold. Well, when was it? Last week or the week before? It was the week before, on that Russia exits the gold market story. Obviously, I took my profit too soon. Now, I got out around the 1640, I would say 1625 to 1640 level. We settled over $1,700 today. So and look, I really felt, and this is no lie, and I made that video the day that the news broke, and I was hoping to provide some information to you and some insight. I've been doing this a long time with a major buyer who has been instrumental in keeping the price of gold propped up. They've been the largest global buyer of gold, the official Russian purchases, the Russian central bank. When they stepped out, and especially given all the bullish gold, I mean, they're all coming out of the woodwork now, right? I mean, if you go back And if you look at my videos from like 2018, and you see how bullish I was, and everybody was, look, I had subscribers at that time. They were crying, and they were like, because, you know, it languished. We went up to 1,200. I think we got up to 1,300 at one point. It came all the way down into the 11s. I kept saying, buy those dips, stay long, stay long. You have to have patience. Mike, how much patience are we supposed to have? I want it to go up now, right? I heard all that. I'm getting out. You're wrong. It's going to go to 1,000. It's going to go to 900. I'm saying, look, it's not only about monetary policy, which we saw actually, to be honest, my original reason for entering back in December of 2015 was when the Fed started to raise interest rates for the first time in 9 years. And I told everybody, as a matter of fact, at that time, I was a contributor to TheStreet.com. And everybody would say, oh, they're raising the rate. That's it for gold. It's going to go all the way back down to, under $1,000. And I said, nuh-uh. Now's when you want to buy it. Because rate hikes equate to price hikes. It raises the general price level. That's inflationary, and gold responds to that. That was originally when I got long. And then, the fundamentals started to look bullish on its own, just the supply-demand fundamentals. We had, there was mine supply was going down. And I talked about this, 2018, we saw. Anyway, you know what I'm talking about. I stayed bullish. But when the Russians pulled out 2 weeks ago, I really thought we'd have a big correction. I was still bullish. If you listened, I was still bullish. So I was looking for a deep correction, but it didn't happen. And one of the things I saw in the latest CFTC Commitment of Traders report was that the commercials, those are the people who are in the gold trade, physical gold, bullion dealers, mining company, commercials were net buyers in the recent dip we had. Remember when it dipped down, what was it, last week or 10 days ago, got down to just below 1,600. They're still buying. They were still buying. So that's a good sign. But I'm not buying up here at 1,700. We need a pullback, and then I'm going to get back in. Stock market, risk assets, equity market, up very sharply today. Look, the market now is running, I believe, on two things. Number one, it's banking on a big, powerful fiscal boost. But there is no evidence of that so far. I see the numbers every day. I check the numbers every day off the daily treasury statement. No evidence of any fiscal boost so far. Maybe we'll start to see it this week. The only thing you can point to at this time is unemployment benefits, which are now up 1.7 billion over last year. That might seem like a lot, but it's nothing. Remember, 10 million people have applied for unemployment, and we're going to have more this week. So you're basically talking about what? $170 a person? I mean, that's not going to do it. You need to get up 40, 50 billion over last year, something like that, not 1.7 billion. So the fiscal boost is not happening. Number one. And a lot of this stimulus, their loans, people are having a hard time. Banks are saying they're now at their maximum lending capacity because there's been a huge surge in loan applications by small business. As a matter of fact, the Fed said today it was going to back these payroll, loans. Because the banks, remember, the only constraint on bank lending, it's not reserves. People think, they lend out reserves like it's, it's a wonderful life, the Bailey Building and Loan. No, bank capital is the only constraint on lending. So depending on how much capital a bank has, that determines its maximum it can lend. And a couple of these banks, like today, Wells Fargo, Bank of America, they already said that's it. We're at our capacity. We can't lend anymore. And so the program was it stopped basically right when it got started. It's another one of these things like the Fed. Oh, gee, we didn't think of that. Just like last year in September when they brought reserve balances below the 10% reserve ratio, and basically they put the whole system short. So yeah, all of a sudden the overnight rates started to spike up. They had to get in there. Who's running these things? It's amazing. So the market is rallying on a belief we're going to get a big fiscal boost, and also some of the virus news. I don't know, it seems to be getting a little bit more hopeful. Like we're not having like the death rates in Italy, in Spain, they're starting to come down. Even here in New York, they're starting to come down. So people are getting a little bit more hopeful, and that's good. But we still need the fiscal to kick in. So, as I say, I monitor that every single day. Go to my website. Hey, the new issue is out today. MMT Trader. I want you all to get it. Go to my website, pitbulleconomics.com. I put the link right here in the description. And if you like my videos, please subscribe. Thanks very much, everybody. Stay well. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.